Hi, welcome back, you beautiful souls. This will be part 4 to What If Deku Was Dragonborn? Many of you have been asking about this and a few of the other series. I will get to them. So, where we last left off our story, um, Ryoko, she was talking to Mitsuki, basically trying to convince her to let Bakugo go with them. And so eventually Ryuko is able to convince Mitsuki to allow Katsuki to go. Sorry. So they set a time. Izuku, he's kind of not in school for obvious reasons. And how the Hero Association had basically swept this matter under wraps was it was a quirked animal that was loose that like a quirked animal that was a lizard that basically made him transform and have they just came up with like a story that would appease public opinion and make sense why the person who basically killed this freaking thing or person, because some people think it's a person, but they they have they have basically made it to where like Izuku is like he's innocent, like murder and manslaughter charges were like dropped because it was like an animal or something. Just because of Ryoko basically kind of explaining it to those who are higher up that this thing was a creature from her homeland. And it's just a mindless beast, kinda lying, but it keeps Izuku safe, is all she's thinking about. So we cut to a few to basically the day of the first day of that summer vacation. So Izuku has been chilling and relaxing, and so Katsuki suits Izuku a text saying that he's heading over to Shoto's place and he'll meet him there. So Izuku comes down because he was up. He comes down and Ryuko has like stuff prepared, and she basically hands Izuku a pack. And Izuku's like, "What's this for?" And she's like, "Well, we're going to need a few things." So they eat a quick breakfast, and Ryuko makes sure to pile up like a bunch of meat on his plate, and Izuku's like, "What's this for?" And she's like, "Well, you're going to be expending a lot of energy like on this flight. We should be there in if I go at my max and you're able to keep up, we should be there in 3 hours." And Izuku looks stunned and it's like, "What, it's that close?" And Ryuko's like, "Yeah, kinda. It's close-ish, but it's not at the same time." And Ryuko basically just kind of points up. And this is when Izuku kind of gets what she's saying. And he's like, "Oh, okay, well, Katsuki said he'll meet us at Shoto's place." So Ryuko Pardon me. Sorry about that. That's our story. So they head over to the Todoroki residence. And they are flying because Ryuko is a pro and it's her kids, so they don't really get bothered by it. Like, they won't really get in trouble for flying. So they land, and Katsuki is a little, like, been asking Shoto for like a good week now, like, what's this all about? Like, do you know? And Shoto has basically kind of been blowing him off because he really does know more than what Katsuki's thinking. He's like, I can't believe they're gonna be bringing this guy along and everything. And this is just what Shoto's thinking. He's just going back and forth with his thoughts. So Ryoko and Izuku show up. They ring the doorbell. Endeavor kind of answers it, welcomes them in, and says the two boys were just relieving a little stress, like in the gym. And so when Izuku gets there, he sees Shoto has his head is like half of his body's covered in ice, and he is like shooting like a fireball at Katsuki. And when they made eyes with Izuku, like, Izuku just has this look of shock on his face, and he's like, Shoto, I thought you had and Shoto's like, well, from what Dad tells me about, you're in Miss Ryoko's homeland, or her homeland. There's a lot of people that have fire quirks, so I still have problems using it, being around it, but this was a little bit much for you. And he turns back to Katsuki and is like, thanks for letting me do this. It kind of helped me prepare. So this is when Katsuki asks Izuku, so like, what's this about, like, homeland and everything? And Izuku is like, well, where Miss Ryoko comes from, there's a lot of people that kind of look like me a little bit, or a variation of what I look like. But in any case, like, we should get going. Mom's waiting for us. Pardon that, I just had a car go by. But one moment. So Izuku said, Mom's waiting on us, is where I believe I left off. So they go out there and they see Ryoko and Endeavor like talking, and then Endeavor kind of turns to like Shoto and says, well, son, I guess I won't be seeing you for a few months. And Miss Ryoko said it may be a little bit longer, in like 2.5 months. And this was when Katsuki says, my mom said I could only be gone for like the summer break. And this is when Ryuki basically turns to the kids and says, well, young Bakugo, I told her that our stay will be this summer, but it could extend for a year. So this is when Katsuki kind of like is in shock by this, and he's like, so you mean to tell me I'm going to be in a foreign land for an entire year? And this is when Izuku even asks this. It's like, Mom, I thought we were only going to be gone for the summer. And she tells Izuku that we'll we'll talk about it later. Like once we get there, we do have a long ways to go. In any case, young Bakugo, young Todoroki, let's go outside now, so I can explain what. So I can explain what we need to do. I'm fairly certain, turning to Todoroki to Endeavor, that Inji here has pretty much informed you guys a little bit about like the people in my homeland, what they look like, and their quirks are similar to mine in young Izuku's here. So they pull out blindfolds, and Shoto and Katsuki are told that her village is a secret village, and that they will have to wear these blindfolds for a good hour and a half. What's going on? For a good hour and a half, and they're shocked by it. They're just like, wait, what? And Izuku basically says, well, we kind of have to fly to get there, so you guys need to like kind of wear these. So it's a secret village, and they're not too keen on outsiders, so yeah, we kind of have to keep its location a secret. And hell, first time I went there, I don't even know where it's at. Like, I kind of could probably find my way back because of the flight back, but it was weird. So they are on their way. During the flight, Katsuki, they're told to like hold on tight, because during their flight over to the Todorokis, they kind of tested out like top speeds, and while Ryuku is faster than Izuku, so Ryuku said she's going to carry both the boys, and Izuku just follows along. So they're on their way, and Izuku basically is asking his friends if they're okay, like do they need something to drink or eat, and they're not worried about it. And this is when Izuku says, wow, this is amazing. And Katsuki and Shoto kind of like lift their blindfolds, and mind you, this is about 2 hours into the flight, and they're looking around and they're like, whoa, where are we? There's no place that we know of that looks like this. And they just kind of look at Izuku, and he's just smiling, like grinning, looking around. And so basically what happens is this place is in an area, if you know anything about Themyscira from DC, like Wonder Woman's people, the Amazonian island, basically something similar like this is happening. So, but on a much larger scale, in a completely different geographical place than where Japan is. So they make it to the land, and Shoto and Katsuki are a little surprised. Like, they turn to Izuku, and they basically say, you weren't kidding about the people here. And they ask him, he's like, why are they bowing to you? And Izuku's like, I don't know. Like, that didn't happen the first time I was here. And Izuku kind of looks at Ryuko, and she's kind of smiling. And this is when the other two turn to Ryoko, and she basically turns into her Dragonborn form. And they're shocked by this, and they're like, Miss Ryoko, is this a different transformation? And she kind of smiles and is like, boys, this is kind of a secret. This is my normal form. And, well, we'll explain a lot more later. But at this point, a bunch of lightning and stuff starts to, happen. And then a lightning bolt strikes in front, a couple of lightning bolts strike in front of Izuku. And when all the dust clears, there's a woman standing in front of him. And, well, woman, but she's about their age. And this is when, a few, Izuku, is looking at this girl. And Katsuki and Shoto are just baffled by this because she looks like the people that look normal to them on their way to this, because this is about the center of the town. Because there were a few people there that looked normal, but they had pointed ears. But this woman's different. Her skin color's different, but then she also has red eyes. And at this, a few older Dragonborn come running up to this person, and they're like, "What are you doing here?" And Izuku's like, what are you guys talking about? She was here the last time, we were here. And the guy's looking at Izuku, and he's like, I'm sorry. I'm sorry, I didn't mean to offend you. And they basically run off. And the woman kind of smiles at Izuku, and he's like, so I guess you recognize who I am. And Izuku's like, I guess you decided to stop using that shimmer that you were using a while ago. And she's like, yeah, I kind of during my right to adulthood, kind of had to come clean about everything. My parents, they knew from the get-go, but they kind of found me, and, well, I'm a dark elf. And Izuku, jumps back, and it's like, but there's no malice coming off of you. And she's like, yeah, I guess that's why I was abandoned. From what Mom and Dad tell me, I'm a good, and what the elder told me, I have a good-natured soul. And this is when she kind of bows to Izuku, and Izuku's like, why are you bowing? And she kind of stands up and is like, because you're, and this is when she catches eyes at Ryuko, and she's like, I'm sorry, I didn't mean to. And she's like, well, Izu, I'll see you later. And she basically kind of winks at him, and Shoto and Katsuki are kind of just flabbergasted about the entire scene. They have seen some stuff that is straight out of fantasy. And this is when, so they continue on their walk, and Izuku basically explains that she was, the first friend that she made, here, and she's pretty cool. And Shoto and Katsuki kind of ask Izuku, what's a shimmer? And Ryuko says, well, boys, magic exists. And, well, you two know what Fey blood is. And, because everyone's like, because Shoto does know what some of these things are. He's just amazed at, like, how many people are like this. Because it had been explained his family lineage by his father. And so Katsuki asks, like, what a shimmer is, and Ryuko basically tells him that, well, magic exists, and it's an illusion spell. Basically, a shimmer, you can shimmer yourself and make you look like anything. And this is when Shoto pipes is like, so can you do that? Is that what you do when you use your quirk, Miss Ryuko? And Ryuko's like, no, that's actually my quirk. And well, most people think I can transform into a dragon, but that's the cases I can actually transform into a dragon and a human. And this is when Katsuki's jaw just drops. And he's like, what, you're not human? And this is when Izuku kind of walks up to him and smacks him in the back of the head. And he's like, you're not entirely human yourself either. Well, neither am I. At least anymore. And so they make it to Ryuko's, to the Tamaki. One moment. To the Tatsumi household. When they get there, they're greeted, and Izuku, like, smells like a bunch of familiar scents, and he kind of starts grinning, and Katsuki and Shoto's like, what's up? And he's like, well, like, the family, they're like a few family members here. And as soon as Izuku gets close to the door, it opens up, and Shoto and Katsuki are a little scared because there's this 12-foot lizard man standing there. And he runs up to Izuku, basically grabbing him and, like, kind of squeezing this, like, young Gizu, you're back! And will you return to us? And before he can say any other words, he's hit in the back of the head with a cane. And this older looking woman kind of walks out. And immediately, Ryuko, like, immediately drops to a knee. And Izuku turns and sees the old woman, and when he catches a whiff of the person, he basically grabs Shoto and Katsuki, pulling them down to the ground, and Izuku takes a kneel as well. And the old lady's like, oh, you young people don't need a bow for me. I'm here to... And she basically walks over and picks Izuku up. And it's like, I never thought my brother would ever make one of you. And come in. So when Izuku gets in, he sees, like, he sees Ryuko's grandmother, and then he sees, like, which would be his adopted great-grandmother and his adopted grandparents, and he bows to them, and this is when they bow back to him. And Katsuki and Shoto are a little confused about what's going on. And this is when Izuku asks, like, so why has everyone been bowing to me in the village? And this is when the older elder of the family, Izuku's adopted great grandmother, basically says, "Well, young Izu, you return to the village as a man." And Izuku's like, "But don't I have to do the right by combat?" And this is when the elder woman pipes up and it's like, "Young man, when you slayed that dragon, you basically took your right as, well, from what my children have told me, my brother didn't do a good job explaining what you will become and what you are. He's kind of finicky at this." And this is when Izuku's like, "Wait, brother? Like, you're Lord Bahamut's sister?" And this is when the elder lady turns to, like, the elders in the room, and it's like, "Wait, he's..." And this is when she's like, "Oh, God, it's about that time?" So they have, like, after, like, the formal greetings and everything, Izuku's shocked that there's other dragons that are like Bahamut. And that Ryuku's actually descendant from a Dragonborn is a descendant of a particular dragon, and, well, yeah, a particular dragon, and also a Dragonborn, which is why she's able to turn into a human, and a dragon. So after all of this, Izuku's tells Shoto and Katsuki that they should probably stay here in the compound, and, well, Uncle Ren, or Uncle Ray, he'll take care of you guys. I have someone I need to go meet. And this is when Katsuki kind of nudges and is like, "You're going to meet that girl, aren't you?" And Izuku's like, "It's not like that, guys. Like, outside of Mom, she's the only one that really treats me normal and, well, got, like, what it meant to, like, hide themselves from others and having to hide who they were." So Izuku basically leaves the house and flies out. And Shoto and Katsuki, like, start to go, but this is when Ryuku stops and tells them, like, "Let him be, boys. Like, he needs to speak with an old friend of his." And Katsuki's a little hurt a little bit, but he understands. So we cut to a good 30 minutes later to an opening in the woods. And Izuku basically drops down and he smells around and he says, "You should come out. Like, you can't really hide from me with, like, my nose. You'd have to completely block, like, find a way to shimmer your scent as well." And this is when the girl, like, jumps out and basically grabbing onto Izuku and giving him a hug, and she's like, "I miss you, but so I take it are you upset what I look like?" And Izuku's like, "No, you're fine, but I don't really think about those things, right?" And she smiles. It's like, "Yeah, but it's always fun kind of teasing you. And I thought it would be funny to play a little joke on you in front of your childhood friends or your human friends." And this is when she says, "But that one boy, like, the one, that has the different colored hair, that has the two colored hair, he's something different. He's not really human, but he's not one of your kind. And Izuku's like, yeah, like, we're here to kind of help him out with that. Some weird things have been happening with him. So what's up with the other human? What's up with the infernal blooded human that came with you? And Izuku's like, wait, what? And she's like, yeah, I'm surprised they didn't kill him on the spot when he entered the village. And Izuku basically does a face palm. He's like, so that's why Mom said Katsuki wouldn't be able to leave the family property. And the girl begins to laugh, and she's like, wow, you really are still dense about some things. So how was it your first trip back here? And Mizuki basically lights up and he's like, it was amazing. Like, I was able to go at my top speed. And I got to see the portal. And she's like, yeah, I've been wanting to go to the human world. I've spent my whole life here. And I want to see what's out there. And Mizuki's like, you could probably do what Mom does. And the girl lights up, and she's like, "Really? You think the humans would accept someone like me?" And Izuku looks down in the lake, and he's like, "Well, if they can accept someone that looks like me, and well, there's some weird looking people with some weird quirks." So she's like, okay, well, Mom and Dad said I shouldn't stay out too late, and I should get home because ever since this happened, there's been some people not too happy about it. And Izuku's like, yeah, I'm getting a feeling there's going to be a lot of people scared of me when I go through the ceremony tomorrow. So he parts ways with his friend, giving her a hug and saying it was good seeing you. So this is where I'm going to end this part. I'm sorry it took me so long to get this out, and this one's a little choppy, but I am recording this at work. So down in the comment section, come up with an elf, with a drow elf name. For those of you who know D&D, who are into D&D, come up with a drow elf name. Well, a first name. Because I'm leaving this up to you beautiful subs and you beautiful viewers. Comment down below a name for this female protagonist. That being said, like, comment, and subscribe. And I will see you beautiful souls in the next video.